Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have here. Another attack on a crypto wallet. You're going to want to know about it. Elon Musk in the news. USDT and $10 billion of Tether in a very short period of time. We got Brad Garlinghouse on stablecoin legislation 2024. Commodity-backed stablecoins, you say? Let's talk about that. The BIS, central banks, gold revaluation. We're going to get into it. We got BRICS news too, and XRP, $15. Wait, somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.67 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 3.1%. Right now, Bitcoin 40,600 plus, 2,300 plus for Ethereum right now. Tether market cap is 94.8 billion plus. XRP is at the number 6 spot at 52 cents. Yes, 52 cents. Oh, I don't like it either. But you know what? I also realize that use case utility is not the price driver of this market, so it does not surprise me. 52 cents is where we are, Off by 4.4 on the 24-hour, off by 8.7 on the 7-day. Range of price very quickly between 52 and 55 cents, and we are on that lower end of the price ranging today, so we'll see if it turns around in the near term. We'll get into it, but right now I want to tell you, look, this conversation's so set up for this right now, and you're going to want to know it. But Miles Franklin, Precious Metals, the best place to get yourself some precious metals if you do two things. Email them, info@milesfranklin.com. All of this information is underneath the video. And put in the subject box, dig gold, D-I-G gold. That's all you got to do. Two things. And then you're going to get all the physical gold and silver you could ever want. That's what you want to do, because the banks are doing it too. You're going to want to see that here in a second. Meanwhile, Trezor wallet attack here. Trezor, reveals a security breach affecting around 66,000 customers. An internal audit indicates limited access to email and nickname data. The illicit actor contacted 41 customers seeking sensitive recovery seed information. 8 trial account users on Trezor's discussion platform may also have been affected. So, look, I had this conversation not long ago inside the DPMG, the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. I'm all for people having cold storage, self-storage, self-custody, if that's what you want. Absolutely. But I don't. I like the option, and if I choose to use it, I want the option to use it. But what I'm really looking for is to mirror the traditional markets and give me insurance. Give me investor or institutional level custody for the retail investor. That's what I want to see, right? Absolutely, I want to see that. And if I choose to also self-custody, that should be available to all of us too. Meanwhile, we see the M2 money supply is going on a tear through 24-25. You can see this chart set up right here. But the ETF approval just in to let the big boys in as it appears massive growth, massive global monetary stimulus incoming. Coincidence? If we see a big stimulus, boy, I tell you, you better watch out. We may see crypto go crazy. We'll see what happens here. But the things are mounting because we know Elon Musk is getting closer to launching his payments platform inside of X. And it's to happen this year is what they're saying. So we will see if that happens. And meanwhile, USD Tether nears $100 billion market cap. One of the reasons we watch it, aside from the fact that it has been operating outside of the traditional standard when it comes to regulatory oversight, prudential regulation. Tether keeps saying, trust us, we got it. They even have other people like Canton Fitzgerald CEO Lutnick who steps up and says, you know what? I've seen the reserves. Does that mean that the FBI and the Secret Service, which was an agency created to chase down counterfeit money, which has recently partnered with Tether, does that mean that they can all go home? Is that what that means? I'm not saying Tether gets unwound. I'm just saying they've been found out. How far that goes to get it back inside of the regulatory provision and oversight, I don't know. Brad Garlinghouse predicts regulatory clarity for stablecoins in 2024, says dollar-pegged crypto solves real need. And it does, because we know that stablecoins, US dollar stablecoin, is really the currency of the internet. And US dollars as stablecoins are the most widely used dollar in the crypto space when it comes to pegged stablecoins. And we know that because Tether almost has a $100 billion market cap, right? So there you have that. However, the question remains, what happens after stablecoin legislation? Should we get it by Q1 of this year? We know Danelle Dixon has also gone as far as to say if we don't get it by Q1 of this year, stablecoin legislation won't be till 2025. We either get it before the election or we don't have it. But there's a bigger question here. I want you to listen to this video because the stable coins we were just talking about were fiat pegged stable coins, right? But now you're going to hear them talking about in this panel commodity backed stable coins. Take a listen to this. This is very crucial to where we're going. Let me set this up real quick. If in fact we are going to get stablecoin legislation, it will have to address all different kinds: algorithmic stablecoins, peg stablecoins to fiat, commodity-backed stablecoins, and so on. Basket stablecoin, right? Listen to this clip here.
At the same time, though, I think right now when we talk about stablecoins, we kind of implicitly assume that it's something that is either US dollar based or other fiat currencies. And I personally believe we might come back to the idea that Facebook had with Diem or Libra, because fiat currencies are also not necessarily the ultimate solution to having a stable store of value. And so I think there's a good chance that we might come back to a stablecoin that is actually representing a basket of assets that has a very high likelihood to preserve value. As we're seeing right now, inflation is still very high, and so the stablecoins that are pegged to US dollars and other fiat currencies are actually not as stable as they should be, because at an inflation between 5 to 10%, depending on where in the world you look, that's not exactly stability. Stability would mean that it preserves purchasing power, and not just in the short term, but also in the long term. And I personally believe the only way to really be able to achieve that is not by pegging stablecoins to fiat currencies, but rather by pegging them to a basket of assets, again, that has a low volatility and that has a very high likelihood to preserve purchasing power. There might even be some smaller stablecoins that, took up this idea already today, but of course they will only become relevant if they reach a certain level of adoption.
There's no question about it, and he's talking about the right things here. And I am going to continue to ask the question, are we watching XRP become a stablecoin in the introduction of automated market makers? Because stablecoins aren't just fiat to fiat pegged money. It could be commodity-backed stablecoins. It could be a basket of stablecoins with a blend of commodities and fiat. And I'm sure other scenarios as well. We know algorithmic stablecoins and largely have been frowned upon and look to be outlawed, I think, and banned in most areas of the world, but we'll see how that develops. But this all is based on the conversation that we're hearing there, the possibility of getting stablecoin legislation by April this year inside of 3 months. And if that happens, does that put us in BIS requirement for crypto Group 1B? With a stabilization mechanism. This is going to get very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. Because there's so much more happening on the geopolitical level that is really important to pay attention to. First of all, we know the BIS and central banks worldwide continue to accumulate gold reserves. There is no mistake while I show you where you can get physical gold for yourself. Right? I'm stacking my pennies next to their dollars. I'm doing the things I can do within my means to emulate the moves I see of the people who actually run the world. Right? The banks, the financial institutions, the governments, the central banks. What are they doing? Well, they're accumulating gold, and there has been a heavy conversation by accumulating this gold that they may be setting the stage for a gold revaluation in 2024. Now, we can't prove this, but with everything we're seeing, with all the money printing, is it wrong to consider that this could be taking place at some point? I think I'm leaning in. I'm leaning in. Especially when I see things like this. BRICS coalition, which has been expanding rapidly with the other countries joining. They are preparing to launch new bonds in global markets, which will be available in local currencies rather than in the US dollar. This is all a part of that de-dollarization movement, pulling away from the US dollar as the world reserve currency, strengthening their own local currencies. But notice introducing and preparing to launch new bonds in global markets. And what do you want to bet those end up being? Tokenized bonds on a blockchain. This is how you end up transferring the debt of the world and tokenizing it and moving it onto a ledger or a blockchain. Meanwhile, Reuters reports that Saudi Arabia is yet to accept BRICS invitation, and the decision to join the bloc is pending. The report states that Saudi Arabia has not signed the BRICS agreement and is now reevaluating the benefits of being a part of the alliance. Oh, you don't say. Oh, okay. Look, this all hinges right here. They have a $15 billion memorandum of understanding, which has been in place for more than a year, if not more than 2 years now, with BRICS coalition. So why the stall? Why the hesitation? Because Saudi Arabia is where the Petrodollar agreement is that gives the US dollar its elevated status as a national currency to a world reserve currency, that all oil be exclusively traded in US dollars, which is not being honored in exclusivity today. Now, that's in return for US military protection. So what in the world is going on? Where are we in this moment as the geopolitical winds of change are upon us? As the financial system is moving into a new transformation of itself to never return to where it was. Will the petrodollar remain as we move to this new financial system? Will it go away? Will it be enhanced or complemented by the use of a bridge asset? I don't know all the answers to these things, but I do know this. XRP was created to complement a moment in history like we are in right now. To what level and degree would XRP be able to help liquidate, ease the friction into this new digital revolution we're moving into? I can't really speak to it other than I believe an enormous impact will take place. But this is my personal opinion. This is not financial advice. But keep watching, ladies and gentlemen, because Saudi Arabia completely and solely joining into BRICS is going to be a very pivotal moment when it actually happens. XRP bent fork here, looking at historical support for $15. And we know above 66 cents, we're shooting for $1 plus to 588 window. We get above the $2 plus mark, and we can start talking about this $15, $27 that we've been hearing about this business for quite a few years now. But let us not forget that as those things are exciting, should they come to be, and I certainly believe that they will, the biggest thing that's most exciting to me is the use of XRP inside of the financial system for the next 300 years plus. That's what's exciting to me. And we're here for it. And I wouldn't be anywhere else. I hope you will join us in the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Inside the Freedom Zone, we are tackling quite a bit today. You will hear it on the stuff inside of there. Russia is now claiming that the U.S. state, Alaska, actually belongs to them and was an illegal sale. We get into that and so much more. I'll see you inside the Freedom Zone. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Join us at digperspectives.com. I'll catch all of you on the next one.